YouTube, what's up? This is your boy DJ Troy. I hope everybody is good. Hope everybody is chilling, and I hope everybody is doing good. Today, I'm gonna be talking about marriage. Let's get it started. So, I'm driving, heading to work right now. So, you do something different. Not every day people want to see the same whole boring video. So, if you see me looking around, checking out the scenery, you know that I'm driving to work. I'm not trying to get into any accidents. I'm not trying to do anything crazy on the streets. So let's get into it. Marriage. What is marriage? I've been married for 3 years, okay? And I'm still learning what exactly is marriage. There's a couple of things that I could tell you that I've learned within the past 3 years of being married. The number one thing is communication. It is critical that you communicate with your partner. It's critical that you talk to your partner about everything. I mean literally everything, okay? Don't leave anything up to chance. Don't assume anything. You have to communicate, okay? Don't assume that people know anything. Don't assume. If you feel like if there's something that you need to do, just communicate. I'll give you a couple examples because living with my wife, I found out a couple of things, okay? At one point in time, I was doing a DVD CD project, okay? So I was onto the CD right now. I was onto the CD. I was doing the CDs. So I asked my loving wife to say, darling, can you burn some CDs for me? My wife said, absolutely, no problem. Okay? She did the job, and I'm like, wow, that was quick. She was like, oh, I'm good like that. Next thing you know, my wife decided to give me the DVDs, the CDs rather, and I found out, I looked at the CDs and I said, babes, this is DVDs, not CDs. I told you to burn CDs. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. If I had communicated clearly with her and said, darling, this is the DVDs, this is the CDs, this would have never happened, okay? And it's not to say that she isn't smart, because my wife is very intelligent, but I'm just trying to build my case of communication, okay? It is one of the most critical things, all right? Don't let nobody fool you, okay? Half of the battle of any relationship, rather, okay, is communication, okay? For example, we have a baby now, we have a child now, and what I try to do at all times is to write notes and send it to her during the day, because when I get home, what I'm focusing on is my beautiful child. When I get home, what I'm focusing on is just spending time with my family. I don't have time to remember, oh, July such and such, I have this activity, I have that activity. No, I don't. So what I do, I send emails, I send text messages throughout the day, I send voicemail, whatever, okay, to get the point across to say, darling, these are the activities that we have scheduled, these are the things that we need to do, these are the things that we're gonna do together as a family. Because when I get home, like I said before, it is extremely difficult to communicate. You know, it's just like you go home and you're just focused on everything else. You know, you're making sure, oh, is the baby good? How was your day? You ain't got time to remember everything. So I send emails. Okay, and that there saves a lot of issues. That there saves a whole lot of problems because at any given time, my wife could just go check on the emails. She could go just check her, check her voicemail. I try to keep it to emails because if you're trying to do too much, you could also get into problems there too. Okay? Now, for those people who are watching my videos, who are married, who are single, who are in various different kinds of relationship, you might want to say, well, hey, I hear what you're saying. I try to communicate, but the person doesn't listen. What do I do then? Now, the one thing that I could tell you is that you have to continue again communicating. It's just, I'm going to use the word communicate probably 1,000 times in my video. And it's just to drive home the point that, listen, you have to talk to your significant other. You have to talk, people. There's no getting away. There's no getting around this. You have to talk. There's no magic pill, okay? There's no magic pill. There's no, secret, There's no secret. The secret, I think, for any marriage is for a couple to talk about every single situation. Like, for example, me. I am a very strange guy when it comes to food. I'm just strange. I'm funny, like weird when it comes to food. There's things that I don't eat. There's things that I like to eat. There's things that, for example, if I'm drinking 2 bottles of water, okay? I drink from one bottle and I just so happens to drink from another bottle, and both of them are half full, okay? I would not switch them. I would not throw one into the other. To me, that just feels very dirty. And mind you, this is the same person that's drinking the same bottle. It's my germs, it's my spit, it's whatever you want to call it. It's all me. But for some reason, I wouldn't do it. Okay? Now, when you get into that type of space, you start to have problems with food at home because you're just weird. Okay? I could remember one time my wife had cooked me some fish, and for some reason the fish just tasted kind of weird. All right, we're gonna go to. We decided to go one day to the supermarket. What am I gonna do? DJ Troy, decided to talk about my wife's cooking in public at the supermarket. That there you shouldn't do, okay? That there is just a bad place for communication. You need to communicate in a private environment where you could talk. And when you're communicating, don't be judgmental, don't be, harsh, don't be rough, don't criticize, and, just, darling, these are the things that I like and these are the things that I don't like, okay? And can you, whatever it is that you did, can you not do it again? And it is what it is, sometimes maybe there's a recipe that my wife had used and it didn't work out. Tell her don't do it again. And you move on. You don't want to embarrass people, because it's one of the toughest things as a husband to go home, okay, your wife cooks and the food isn't up to par. You know, it's one of the toughest things, because the first thing is you going home now and your wife has spent all day cooking for you. All right? She has spent all day cooking for you, and lo and behold, okay, the food doesn't taste good. What do you do then? Okay? I'm going to tell you straight up. As much as I communicate, I'm eating that bad boy, and I'm just keeping my mouth shut, because it it does something to the ego, I think, you know, where this is where communicating becomes too much. All right? It does something to the ego. And you don't want to build and destroy people, okay? You don't want to destroy then build. You need to find a level playing field where you're able to let certain things go and move on. Okay? Because as earlier when I opened my videos, I said that, listen, you need to communicate, you need to communicate. But I strongly believe that certain things or some things you should just, leave it alone. You shouldn't stress it or go too much into it, because it creates tension, it creates a problem, it creates issues for yourselves. All right? Okay, they said the destruction of a nation begins where? At the home. All right? So people, I hope you gather something from my little video here. It was a pleasure talking to you while I'm driving to work. Just doing something different for YouTube. This is your boy, DJ Troy. I'm out. And listen, remember to communicate, communicate, communicate. All right? But not everything you communicate. There's some things you need to say, hey, leave this alone and keep it moving. Just live with it. But on the most part, always remember to tell people how you feel in a very loving, very gentle, and very kind way. All right? Peace.